Memories. Memories.
Feel my heart, it's beat tight. Oh, my body's breathing. It's just you and me. Feel my heart, it's beat tight. Oh, my body's breathing. It's just you and me. I'm so caught in this, we're so lost deep in it, can't stop. I'm forever the one you call. Let's free fall. I'm so caught in this, we're so lost deep in it, can't stop. I'm forever the one you call. Let's free fall. Let's free fall. Let's free
inside here, you get an insight and you know something, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, If he makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Break.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. But you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
Sitting in a 4v3. Everyone from esports trying to find the angle they can, trying to find somebody out of position. We're gonna go through on this. Oh, what a whoa! See White gonna go in.
It's going to be a really, really interesting one.
Oh my god. All of this competition could be so damn close, so I cannot wait for us to finally decide who's going to be the champion. We are expecting some chaos, some great moments.
Beast Mode has killed 3! Only gonna really need that rampage, so it's gonna clear it out. Santi gonna give themselves a big old 4K. Santi's getting rid of 3, clearing out the house.
That is crazy.
Nunji actually kills 3 people.
This team feels entirely different on this faster composition. Now Saga is hanging around, getting onto the high ground. Post bomb's gonna stick onto Linky. They're not gonna be able to survive it at the end of the day. Blue manages to find a 3K.
Rio shoving this Lana into a corner. Woo! One more for the road for Rio.
That is all signs go. Melophobia with 3 Melophobia. Start the fight. They'll end the fight. Oh my god. Beagle Bus, they have to play aggressively into this energy. Popping off in a moment where you needed just that. Ruby in that backline. Oh, the flick. Looking for it. Oh my goodness. The fourth one as well. Do they get the ace? They get the ace.
We are back for what could be the final time this season of CGL EU Open Division. It's going to be the grand finals, and it's myself, Spectrum, to bring the action to you, and a special guest, a blast from the past, K-Wing. How you doing?
Way to make me feel old, man. A blast from the
How
past.
old are you again? 25?
23.
Exactly, you're ancient.
23. Excuse you. Anyway, but enough about me and how old and washed and jaded I am, I guess. We're here with, like you said, the EU Open Grand Finals. We've got Aurafarmer and WBZ Dream Eaters. And even before that, Spec, we've got the EU Open End of Season Awards, honoring the best of this tier. And we've got people from all over this tier, from a bunch of different teams, showing the breadth of talent in this tier.
Indeed, yeah. It's going to be really exciting to see who does get crowned. If you've seen any of the award shows from any of the other divisions, you have a slight idea of how this is going to work. In the meanwhile, we do have another game happening simultaneously. It's going to be Brigged Up versus T4T. It's going to be on CGL2. Where I recall it, Brigged Up basically undefeated so far. TFC looking for a rematch after they finish their lower bracket run, but see if they're able to close things out. Like I said, that's on the other stream, so if this one finishes early, hop over there, vice versa. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes then. Let's get into the awards, right? Not something we've done before, actually. A fresh addition to CGL, if I'm not much mistaken, so might be a little bit touch and go, but we're really excited to get this underway. Let's get straight into it then, unless there's anything left to do. So
No, I don't think there's anything left to do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, for the EU Open Division, the manager of the season is Revenge from DYS, budget approved. Get a little golf clap going. But this is obviously voted by the other people in your division, so it does show a commitment to a high amount of hard work and just generally being a pretty chill guy. How are you feeling about getting... Okay, I'm going to mention it. Okay, so obviously, Revenge, you are the EU Open Division manager of the season. How are you feeling about that?
Good. I wasn't really expecting that. I hardly did much this season.
You've made it on your positive vibes then.
Yeah.
Kind of say that. Obviously, how do you feel DYS budget approved did this season? How do you feel?
To be honest, to the standards we played at in season 14, really, really bad. We were not happy with our open tier performance this season at all. Because obviously we were third almost a year ago now, and then we've not even made playoffs this time. So yeah.
Does it light a fire under you for a potential season 17 run to see a resurgence of DYS budget approved?
Yeah.
Really get that going?
Yeah, we're definitely going to come back, just with different faces, I reckon. We'll still keep the core, but we've already got some plans in the works, so
okay,
definitely going to come back.
Very interesting. We've got to look forward to that then. And then I guess we'll keep this relatively short because we do have a couple other people to hop through. Do you have any words, anyone's shout out, anything to say for the people at home?
No, not really. I'm just looking forward to this final, really.
Yeah, as am I. Thank you so much, and we'll let you go home, watch the game.
Thank you.
Okay, what we got next then?
Yeah, that was Revenge, Best Manager Award winner. Now on to Best Coach, where in the EU Open for Best Coach, we've got Aristophanes from EMC Orpheus. Aristophanes, thank you for joining us for your Best Coach Award.
Oh, hello.
How you feeling about that?
Well, feels good. I was basically a coach and a player on my team. But more so than this, I've been doing a bit of coaching and Face It. I've actually just ordered a PC so I can get going in that direction a bit more. So
yeah, super glad to hear. I mean, I have some experience coaching and playing, but obviously not at the same level. Do you ever find that it gives you extra perspective, or that sometimes your opinions from the positions you play, the roles, kind of give you a certain bias when coaching?
Do you know what? I think for me, I actually find it really difficult. I don't know if any other coaches would feel the same way, but when I'm coaching, I think the game looks a lot slower. Like I can see everything that's happening like really, really easily when I'm coaching. But when I'm playing the game, I'm a lot more tunnel visioned into like what my role is. So like in this season, we didn't do very well in playoffs. We took a couple of maps, but basically like nearly all my DPS players either got their accounts banned or they left the team or whatever happens. So I had to play main support and had to pop my main support player on sim. And like it's so different playing a role. I mean, a role I'm not too familiar with, but also like I'm not able to see like when I should be on side fight the same I would be able to see my main support player, the team I coach in expert. Like I can see when my main support is in the wrong position, if that makes sense, but I can't necessarily apply it in the moment. So
no, I get it exactly. Like I said, I had some experience doing something similar, so it's a weird feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, incredibly insightful. I guess while we're gonna wrap this up, but before we do you have anyone you want to shout out, give thanks to on the stream? Floor's yours.
I think I want to give thanks to everyone on my team that stayed on my team and carried on playing with me, even when maybe I was getting a bit tilted in scrims because we were doing things wrong. You know how it goes sometimes. So even besides that, it's been fun to play with my friends again. Near enough everyone is moving to PC, so I don't know what the future holds for my team, but it's been fun. So
glad to hear it, and we hope you enjoy watching the grand finals.
All right, I'm rooting for Dream Eaters to win. So
thank you very much.
See if they can do it.
See you around. We'll see if they can.
All right, thank you.
And now, Rookie of the Year, or the season rather. This is a pretty exciting one. Obviously, the fresh comers to CGL were always pretty excited to see, and it's going to be Note from DYS Budget approved. Second appearance from your team. How are you feeling about that one, Note?
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think I'd make it, but
You didn't think you played well, or?
I've just thought there were better players, I think.
What was the experience like coming into a league like CGL that has so much history, that has so many of these teams that have persisted through the years, and kind of stepping into that a little fresher?
I mean, going straight into open division was definitely a struggle and a lot of pressure, but I think we managed well, even though we didn't make playoffs, but there's always next season.
That there is.
Yeah, I mean, for next season, do you have any expectations? You feel like you can improve on what you did previously? You feel like there may be a different meta even that's going to suit your playstyle more? What are you thinking for it?
Yeah, just kill Diva, I guess. make the character disappear, and I definitely plan to make playoffs next season.
I mean, with Sig being the way he is right now, I feel like Diva's kind of an afterthought almost. But
let's go.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, just a little bit late for you. But no, we're looking forward to seeing you make playoffs next season. You said it on stream, so you got to make it happen now.
I guess I have to, yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, we'll let you go. Let you enjoy the game. We'll see you. We'll see you in the next time.
I'll check it.
All right, peace.
Now hopping over to the Roll Awards. After Note, our Rookie of the Season, we're getting into our Roll Awards for Tank, then Damage, then Support. Starting off with Tank from Aurafarmer. It's going to be Golden Pants, the best tank. It's going to be Golden Pants. I don't think we've got an interview for
I would think
this
not. He's in lobby right now, waiting for the game to be ready. So
that
we'll figure it out. Yeah.
But I mean, we'll get to see him. So
yeah, I feel like GP is he's good at the game. I don't know if you've ever watched a GP lobby. I guess you will. But he kind of just walked the entire lobby to be around him. It did feel like a bit of a slam dunk giving a Tank of the Year to Golden Pants. I could blaze him hit now, but we'll get to it in the actual lobby, so we'll hold off that for a little bit. But I think we can all say this award very much deserved.
Now hopping on to Damage, best DPS, and that's going to go from EMC Chimera to Psychoka.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one, actually. Psychoka. Been making some waves recently, I would say so. Doesn't seem like we have an interview once again. Yeah, can't that confirmed. But I don't know. Just been doing some really great things from the Damage line, and one of the big reasons EMC Chimera has been a real threat. It feels like in the EU Open division and in FACEIT as well. So watch out for them because they could be something pretty special, I think.
And I guess now hopping on to the Support Awards, where we have got Lampy from DYS Budget Approved. Lampy, congratulations on getting the award for Best Support.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Very surprised.
Yeah, you don't think you played well, or you just think there are better
No,
players,
I think I played like dog shit, man.
I get it so much, man. I get it so much.
I got it in GM tier. I get that, but like this, fuck.
Yeah, so maybe a bit of a step up he found, going from GM to Open Division?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Just a little bit. But yeah, how did you find your season here? How did you find your season 16?
Season 16 was a bit mid. Some internal issues. It didn't feel too good, but I think maybe we hit it another season. If I keep playing, that is.
I see.
Yeah. Do you have big expectations like that for season 17?
If I do go for season 17, I do have big expectations, but I'm currently busy with Face It, so I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
Well, we certainly hope to see you back here, and I think the voters for this award would love to see that as well. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, man.
All right, that was Lampy, the Best Support Award winner, and now going on to our last award of the day. Before we hop into the match, it's going to be MVP, and it's going to be Saikoka from EMC Chimera, already having the Best Damage award, and hopping into the MVP award. Again, no interview from Saikoka, but making waves, like you said, and clearly making an impact on the voting group in the EU Open division, getting that damage award and the MVP of the entire season.
Yeah, that's got to feel pretty good. I mean, nothing we can really say now that we haven't already said, but really want to watch out for the future. Well, I'm obviously wanting to watch out now, considering he got that overall MVP award, just a really strong, well-rounded player, and someone who could, you know, really have a bit of a deep run in Overwatch esports. So we'll see what they've got in the future for Saikoka, but for now we can give them the MVP awards and wish them the best of luck in season 17. Now that does bring our awards to an end. It means we can focus at the business at hand, right? We can focus in on these EU Grand Finals between Aurafarmers and WBZ Dream Eaters. Now take a gander at the bracket, because this is important. Aurafarmers dropped one map so far. That was to MSU in that last matchup. Dream Eaters, last time they played Aurafarmers, lost 0-3. But after that, it's been a bit of a hot streak as they obliterated Orpheus, Chimera, Smelvin, and MSU in pretty clean fashion. So they are on the up and up. They do have that momentum on their side, do the Dream Eaters, but will it be enough to unseat their opponents who just dominated them last time? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but I mean, the game is completely different. And I don't just mean in the new patch notes coming out. I'm talking about this 1st to 4. 1st to 4 versus 1st to 3 is completely different in how you talk about and how you look at these maps that these teams are going to pick, the bans that they're going to pick, because you have to be prepared for the longevity of what a 1st to 4 series can do. You can go to 7 maps, even more if you get draws on some hybrids, if you're lucky, or you might say unlucky. This series can go the distance. And so we've got our first map now already, which is going to be Lijiang. And I think we're about to get bans starting in soon. But what are you looking for, Spec, out of the bans, out of Aurafarmer right now?
Typically, Aurafarmers are worried about either they want to play ball, right? Golden Pants is a ball specialist. His other heroes are very good. His other heroes are very, very good. But his ball is the hero which I would argue he is OWCS level on. And so enabling that is pretty optimal. D.Va ban is exactly that. Protects the Wrecking Ball. D.Va obviously a harder counter to the ball. And so this allows him to be as free as possible on his dedicated hero. This is probably pretty expected by Dream Eaters, who now have to think about the rest of the opposing team, what they can target for that. I mean, it depends specifically on what rosters will have going into the matchup, but a lot of the times, bans against Aurafarmers have been targeting double flex support setups they really like to run. We'll see if that materializes today.
Yeah, as that time ticks down, we've got the ban. It's going to be a Tracer ban for WBZ Dream Eaters. And on the side of Aurafarmer, that's definitely targeting Kurama on that Tracer. And, I mean, you were talking about that double flex support out of Aurafarmer. what does it mean to us that WBZ have chosen to hit the Tracer first? Are they trying to hold back on going for those flex supports until maybe later in the match? Or is this something different?
I mean, partially with Vintac playing rather than their standard player, then Aurafarmers are just a little bit more flexible in their background rather than having 2 flex supports. Vintac being able to play that brig. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But also, I think the Tracer provides such easy follow-up for the Wrecking Ball. It's a force multiplier of sorts for Golden Pants. So this is still the strongest attempt I think Dream Eaters can put together to actually attempt to shut down those bull dives.
Yeah. And that's exciting to see this Tracer ban really to try and shut down the Wrecking Ball. Like you said, sort of attacking at the supports of the Wrecking Ball rather than the ball itself. Probably holding off on a specific Wrecking Ball ban until a bit later in that series. Also, just because you can't ban 2 tanks. So we're waiting here, about to get into Lijiang Tower, and looking now at the lineups. Aurafarmer, they've got their starting lineup, of Evil, Condi, Golden Pants, Quilla, and Vintac. And who's your standout player of this?
GP.
So
no question.
Yeah,
I mean, there's plenty of really strong players. Condi and Evil are a particularly deadly DPS line. Keela, I think, is sort of very strong flex support. Vintac, I'm actually not that aware of, so I'll be learning about them as the game develops, but it's just Golden Pants. There's a reason the rumors were they were trialing for teams like Virtus Pro, like the Ultimates, as I understand it, right? It's just bonkers at the ball, and we're going to see that later on. Aurafarmers live and die by the sword of Golden Pants. Most teams tend to just die by it.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say is, who's your outstanding pick for this team? Parentheses, please. We held off on Glaze and Golden Pants for a little bit. Just let it go. Let it out. Dream Eaters now, their opponent, that lineup. You've got Luan. You've got Luan. Quayo. Quayo. Pardon me.
We say Quayo normally.
Quayo. Okay.
Yeah.
Quayo.
Chinese Dino.
Chinese Dino. I'm having a great time. Naf the Catboy and Not Nif. On the side of WBZ Dream Eaters. And tell us about this roster, Spec.
Chinese Dino's hero pool is going to be focused around heavily the Queen and the Winston. Winston, good into the ball if you can play really, really fast. Any sort of long fight, though, you're going to find your armor goes, your bubble gets popped, and you have a pretty terrible time. Quayo and Luan are probably going to have a rough time in the DPS matchup versus Dream Eaters. So I feel like they might have to try and play a bit more passive, try and follow up on Chinese Dinos. Naf, the Catboy, and Nat Nif are going to be heavily focusing on this Kiri Wuyang backline, and so I expect to be a ban target of Aurafarmers heading into the future.
It looks like we have a little bit of a swap there. It's Alexander on the DPS. Alexander, aka Senna,
I think.
He might know. Yeah, that is Senna.
Senna.
Yeah, it's Senna. It's her.
Yeah, okay. That kind of changes the paradigm a little bit here. Fantastic on the hit scan. I actually was on a team with Golden Pants last Face It Master Split, but they ended up dropping her. She's got a bit of a chip on her shoulder about that, so see what she can make do about it. I wouldn't expect the Freya itself to materialize. The hero now with the bolts only doing 110 is pretty cosmetic. But on the Soj, on the Cassidy, on the Ash can be an absolute force of nature. So I think Dream Eater is going to be looking towards her to relieve some of the pressure from Aurafarmers.
Absolutely, and I think Senna can do that. Can be trusted in some of those clutch moments to be that X factor, to be that pressure release valve for Dream Eaters. But we'll just have to see as we look towards the start of this game. Looking at the rosters now, It is Ball v Sigma, same backlines, Genji, and then the Sojourn v Cassidy. So a little bit of a different play style from Dream Eaters versus Aurafarmer. What big things are we going to be looking for immediately for these teams to set the tones back?
Finding roll-throughs here on this map is easy but predictable, and so Chinese Sino should be holding Rock to knock out these ball engages. Cassidy is just generally stronger here. I'd expect Senna to be slightly outvaluing Condi unless those rails are absolutely pristine. Golden Pants eats the Rock early on, but having those full adaptive shielding, absolutely safe.
Absolutely safe and gets a big roll through. Are they going to be able to get out of it okay? Completely fine. Just knocks through, and that's the power of the best tank. As Evil's going to get taken down, Golden Pants going to keep on rolling through, finds onto the Genji. Now in some trouble, but the Kiriko is there with the healing. Gets hit with a stun nade. Ooh. Golden Pants barely staying alive. On the nice edge were the DPS of Dream Eaters, but Alexander was really keeping this ball in check.
Yeah, Creo, great kill onto Condi, and even though GP is permanently active, permanently a threat, the actual kill pressure, relatively low. One tank we neglected to mention actually in that ratio is the Sigma. Obviously, about a 20 damage buff to his Hyperspheres. Those things hit like an absolute Mack truck now, and that's why Chinese Sino is already 65% overweight to the Gravitic Flux. Obviously, the hero of that last fight, though, Senna or Alexander, absolutely taking names and looking to do so as we start yet another fight.
Yeah, and now has the Deadeye available to zone off this point if needed. Minefield dropped over top. Senna able to roll out of it. Oh. Deadeye popped, waiting for that deflect to wear off. No picks through it. Evil going to get the pick onto Senna as Dream Eaters roll back onto point. Condi landing that pick as now Aurafarmer's coming back onto point and getting that reclaim.
Yeah, seems like it's going to be a relatively fast refight. That being said, 50%. You're going to be happy enough with that if you were Dream Eaters. Okay, Golden Pants is doing the thing. Senna's off the map, like, literally as early as you humanely can be. I haven't even seen a knockoff there. But, I mean, if you're Aurafarmers, you literally only use Minefield. Your opponents use Deadeye Kitsu. That means your Kitsu's going to be unmirrored. I mean, either Chinese Dinos hits like an infinity value Gravitic Flux, or I think it's going to be a couple fights just going the way of Aurafarmers based solely off the back of ult economy. Obviously, high ground rotate coming through. They want this server room space to Dream Eaters. What can they do with it?
Yeah, Golden Pants trying to separate out this team. There goes the Flux. Is it going to be that infinite value? No, it looks like it completely whiffs. There goes the Blade. Twilla gets that first pick onto Senna. No picks off the Blade either. Well, no, you've got one pick coming through off Dream Eaters. Golden Pants finds a pick onto the Lucio. Golden Pants just always in the kill feed as Dream Eaters get taken out.
That they do. A bit of a weird choice, deciding to invest so heavily in that. They believe 3 checkmarks out their opposition, but there's still a Minefield and an OC you've yet to deal with. Cleanse out early. Lucio split, but Naf can at least escape for now.
Yeah, it's an early Suzu as in that room. It's a deadly Minefield out of Golden Pants, taking out Naf. And now rolling through Senna, getting hit with the Suzu, and then just burst down by Golden Pants. You're a lot slower in that Deadeye form, as Golden Pants will take a 3K, rolling through the competition, and just showing off at this point on the spawn door, and just delaying until the end. That'll be 100-50 for Aurafarmer.
I'm not quite a fan of those rotations from realistically any of Dream Eaters. Some pretty sloppy plays in my estimation, over-ulting. You're not constantly walking high ground, just get out-angled. I mean, we see how often they're in this small room. I understand you're technically better at the brawl fight. That's only when you're actually taking brawl fights. When Aurafarmers have control of the chokes, they're simply out-angling you. You're boxed in. And so, that's pretty sloppy. Obviously some tech issues in the lobby, so we'll see if that gets sorted out in time. But it also kind of shows what we felt like the microcosm of this game would be, right? Which is Aurafarmers show up, GP kills 5, and if it's not GP killing 5, it's Alexander or, Senna, who can square up, find the opening picks, and allow Dream Eaters to play. Obviously, she did it, the one time. More probably going to be needed if we're going to see a close series, and I will say as well, I do think that if you want Senna to kill people, we actually have to give her the angles for it. Instead of taking like the kind of inside route, which means that you're on shorter angles, you're stacked as a team, there's no surprises, I think just walking main actually gives her the opportunity to make plays, to hit some shots, and somewhat shut down the opposition. So that's what I would like to see if it materializes.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you have to give your incredible hit scan players some of those long range shots to take, and it allows you to keep some line of sight on the wrecking ball and pepper damage into them as they're leaving. And Senna did do a pretty good job, at least in that opening part of the map, at shutting down Golden Pants, or at least limiting his presence. But I mean, you look at that, you look at 14-0 on the side of Golden Pants, not a death in there, and 14 limbs and 5k damage. And you can point at the reason why this is going so well for them.
Bull just doesn't die. That's what the hero is for. Uptime, basically 100. Swap over to the Ramatra, allows you some slow utility. I'm not quite sure about this. It suits the playstyle they wanted to play on the previous point here.
Whoa!
Not so much. KO, Yotta split taken care of, and even though it's early point positioning for Dream Eaters, they're already down in 4v5.
Yeah, their Genji was just completely behind. Evil's gonna hit some dinks and take down Naf, and now it's just a full-scale retreat for the members of WBZ. A great stun will get Senna a bunch of ult charge, but Evil's just going to farm the stragglers, and Aurafarmer really took advantage of a misstep out of WBZ.
I mean, it's a bit of a mistake from Quayo. Come on, I know you're a nice guy, man, but we can't be just giving over kills like that for free. Bit sloppy, but hey, fast fight. You've got good Deadeye percentage. You can clear the space with that tool before anybody else has too much of anything, and so you should be looking for a relatively fast walk here. Cliffside is risky, but they don't have to commit towards it if they don't want, but they're just so slow. They're so split.
They're incredibly split, and it's getting them in trouble. Golden Pants is going to find one, Evil's going to find another, and this Genji Wrecking Ball is going to pump out the damage. You have to be perfect, and right now, Dream Eaters have had their missteps.
Yeah, they're trying more changes. Senna's on Bastion. Bastion has been buffed in the recent patch, so actually, something of a threat. That being said, so far, not yet finding the value you may be looking for. Able to make it into the side room, though, alive, which is more than we can say from a couple other attempts. No TP to position them from, but other than that, still some opportunities to find value.
Yeah, but now you might be going right into a minefield on this high ground, and the Bastion can pump in the damage, but just not enough to take care of this Wrecking Ball. Golden Pants just destroying it with the mobility of this team. You just have Condi take out Naf, and it doesn't seem like there's anything that you can do. They're playing so split. Just lambs to the slaughter of Golden Pants at this point, as Akila's going to go down. Vintak will find a pick onto Senna, and you'll maybe get some overtime with the Lucio. I don't even know.
Move.
Maybe the recovery. Nope, the recovery's not even there. You'll get OT out of one person. You got a Blade on the point. There goes the Blade, just shut down. Natnif gone, and it's just not enough out of WBZ. And that'll be Aurafarmer taking map 1 in a very convincing style.
Yeah, not quite sure about some of these ideas from Dream Eaters, but ultimately, then we are seeing essentially what we call a mechanics differential here. I think Golden Pants and Co. really just showing up and hitting shots more than anything else. Golden Pants yet only the one death, actually, where he got flashed off the map. We get another example here where he's just chilling. Nobody's even looking at him. Quad Cannon's more than strong enough to find the value there. And though it was a great start from Dream Eaters, unfortunately that momentum pretty quickly petered out. And now they got shut out here on Lijiang Tower. And they're going to have to find success on some other map style. You will have the advantage of a Wrecking Ball ban at some point. That's probably going to be map you have the best chance of winning, right? But I think more than anything else, we need a bit of a mental reset.
Completely. I think that a Wrecking Ball ban is going to give you a really good chance at winning, but the Wrecking Ball ban is not going to fix problems of playing split, of playing a bit too far apart. The Wrecking Ball ban's not going to fix some of these issues we've been already seeing. It just has to be, like you said, that mental reset. It's not impossible either. It's one of the big advantages of a first to four, is that mental reset has so much more time to develop, has so much more time to take shape. Losing your first map in a first to three, you're a little worried. Losing the first map in a first to four, it's not even that big a deal. It's truly not. You win one map, and congratulations, you're now at a first to three. It's now 0-0 in a first to three. So I don't think it's panic mode for WBZ, but I think you're starting to get a little worried here, because like you said, for Aurafarmer, they live by the pants, they die by the pants. And right now, they are living it up by the pants.
You can live it up by the pants? Is that like some sort of bizarre wedgie, or?
You know, sometimes you combine phrases together, you combine like cultural like sayings together, and it really works, and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes and I don't think living it up by the pants really hit there. But you get the point here, that they are, you know, they live by Golden Pants' playstyle, they die by Golden Pants' playstyle. And right now, Golden Pants' playstyle is turning out to be 24 karat. Are you happy with that metaphor?
It did work out a little bit better, yeah.
It did land a bit better, yeah.
It did work out, yeah. Wait on map, obviously. It's WBZ Dream Eater's map pick and first ban. Ideally, what you want to do first is go to maps where Wrecking Ball just isn't that good first, before you actually ban out the ball, because it really restricts what your opponents can do if they're really worried about you eventually getting rid of that ball, or indeed another hero you think is particularly impactful. So if I were Dream Eaters, I would have, you know, spent a little bit of time knowing you were playing against Aurafarmers, thinking about a ban strat that doesn't just involve ban ball, and then just like pray that you win the rest of the maps, right? So something like a Shambali, maybe you might be able to find value on, just taking like a Ramacha, playing a Sigma. And I liked the Sigma from Chinese Designers. I do hope he sticks on that. I have to wait and see, however, on exactly what we do next, but we do have our map pick.
That we do, and you said you like the Sigma. We're going to be going to that Circuit Royale map pick. And it seems like instead of trying to play against this Wrecking Ball pick, I feel like they're trying to more play to the strengths of their Sigma comp more than trying to play responsive to this Wrecking Ball. They're trying to push their Sigma forward, and I mean that has to put a lot of pressure onto their tank. It has to put a lot of pressure onto Chinese Dinos.
Yeah, but it's only pressure in a certain way of looking at the problem, I'll say, because it's like that you have a heavy like kill threat on you at all times. Your job is more just like not to make mistakes. So rather than to respond to like insane pressure, it's not you're being dived all the time, right? Golden Pants, I will say, his second best hero after his ball is either his monkey or his Sigma. So he very much can just play the Sigma era, even if we like don't ban ball, and still be very comfortable with it. But I'd imagine you probably do want to leave this ban on the table. You do probably think Senna's the best hit scan in the lobby, so playing something static like the Sig, you're probably happy with. If I were WBZ, I'd be banning Ram here.
Yeah, I think the Lucio ban is an interesting one.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, you want to play a static style of play. The Lucio rewards the opposite of that, so you get rid of it. Again, you're looking to hold the bull ban for as long as possible. So I think this is a strong ban. The only issue is that it does leave your own tank line open. And Aurafarmers, I'd imagine you're just going to kill the Sigma. You know, it was something of a threat. You'd rather play into the Ram, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Both bans through, and I feel like it's about 50-50 on which side gets more advantage from it. Now, all we can see once we get into the lobby is, realistically, which team plays the ebb and flow a little bit better.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Like you said, both these teams missing like a piece of what they would really want to play, and that's a good ban strategy, is taking those pieces away. And we'll just, like you said, see who can flow with this game a little bit better as we get loaded in to the map in just a moment. Currently, Aurafarmer up 1-0 over Dream Eaters in this first to 4 grand finals. WBZ looking for a response, looking for an answer, because honestly, Spec, in that map 1, they looked a little lost. Let's see if they found their way.
All we can do. Circuit Royale, a map we've seen some pretty special things on before in terms of upsets, in terms of comebacks. It's a pretty singular map, pretty unique in pretty much every description of the word, just because of how different it is to everything else. It's just oxymoronic, I am aware. If we do see the Freya from Condi, which we do appear to be, you've got the advantage of being relatively low resource, right? You're pretty hard to take down, but you don't have the same pick power you always have, right? Your bolt's only doing 110 now. You hit a double bolt, they still survive on 5 points of health. They're 225 hero, as before when they were 130 double bolt, and you're killing anything that wasn't 300 plus. I think that your now advantage is your regular bolts are a lot higher damage, so you can burn Chinese dinos. I'd imagine the game plan here is that Evil and Condi are just hard focusing the tank line, hoping that he falls over before Kay or Alexander have a chance to start tank trading. Kind of seeing that happen already, by the way. Chinese dinos just constantly being lit up by these explosive bolts. Still, however, relatively safe. Not having to use any of those defensive cooldowns to stay alive, and the focus fire into GP is pretty comfortable. Okay. Seems like I lost my co-caster for a second, so you're stuck with me for the meanwhile. GP, able to be stable on the side order. All he's doing here is stalling the cup. That's all he needs to do. The kill pressure on the Wrecking Ball with no hard CC is essentially 0. And so as long as he can continue to hide himself, continue to receive heals, and continue to keep that headshot hitbox ducked, then he's doing all he needs and more. Eventually there's going to be an ultimate. Eventually there's going to be an opportunity. And that is going to be an Aurafarmer strike. Still, these bolts not connecting. You've managed to make something of a rotate through into the right side of the room, but Cleanse expired. Plenty of damage onto Chinese Dinos. The attempts to the walk means that it's on a sliver of HP. However, Senna finds a double kill. Will be traded back, however, but the closer spawns being in favor of the Dream Eaters means that as long as they can get themselves out in a relatively safe manner, then I think they'll be happy enough with how things are working out. Goes to the bowler. Can force a cleanse for sure. GP in with an Nana boost. The mines as well, but doesn't feel the need to lose him just yet. The bolt, long range damage, good kill, not there. KO survives on a sliver and now will be stable. Bubble invested onto Chinese Dinos, who doesn't even need the form to try and secure the kill, but maybe should have invested it as Condi's still alive, still swinging, still a threat.
And has the bubble on them now as well. Jumps in and gets the kill onto Chinese Dino. Sorry for dropping away. I lost the Wi-Fi there for a bit. As now Evil on the Hanzo gets hit in the head with a kunai. And now Dream Eaters finally pushing this part around the corner. They've been having a lot of trouble breaking through this Sigma composition of, not Sigma composition, the Wrecking Ball composition of Aurafarmers.
Indeed. I mean, the issue is not that the ball is necessarily finding a ridiculous amount of value, it's that it's restricting their opponents from finding it. KO Coaster Blade, the only ult is on the horizon here, but nothing to play against. It means that you might just want to like wide swing with it, maybe even use the Sim TP that Senna's now on to get even deeper.
Yeah, and the teleport's pretty big as the blade gets pulled out, but 2 people are dead before it even leaves the scabbard. Condi takes out 2, and it's Golden Pants and Condi just alternating picks for the team kill. And WBZ, they're looking at a wholesale comp swap 30 seconds before end of round. This is nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. That being said, Kitsune Rushed Bastion is a threat at any point. With the Sim TP, you can position it wherever the hell you want. So, as long as your TP doesn't get mines and your day doesn't get ruined, you're happy. That being said, the TP's been punished already.
Punished already by the Wuyong, as there goes not in on the side, and that's going to be the overtime wick burning down. Condi taking 2 in the end. Who said that Freya wasn't going to be effective, as 66.16 meters is all that you've got out of WBZ. And now, I know before I said you don't have to be worried, but I'd start to sweat a little. 66 meters, this is where you needed to have some kind of turnaround, and it just wasn't there in the end.
Yeah, very interesting to go to the map where you can kind of just tell your hit scan to shoot people and not give her the heroes which she can just shoot people on. I mean, she's on Sim the whole game. Senna is many things, but UB is not one of them. It were relatively uninspired Sim TPs. You got some kills, right? But you'd really rather just be able to square up to a straight fight, you know, dink 2 people and call it a day. And so, 66 meters? I mean, you have a fight to take, right? Especially if you go for like a close hold. But it is going to be an uphill battle at the very least. A Bastion Widowmaker defensive setup, but lies their desperation. That's a lot of damage, a lot of pick power, but not a lot of flexibility. And so we'll see how Aurafarmer decide to navigate this particular quandary.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like they're holding very close. They are trying to, it seems, hold for 1, maybe 2 fights here. They might have one good fight and a scrappy one, but I'm worried that they're holding pretty far back at this point. We'll have to see as Senna goes for the grapple shot and takes out Evil with 1. That's what happens when you put the hit scan player on the hit scan hero. You get dinks and you get dove by the Wrecking Ball, although the Suzu keeps Senna alive and up. Now pushing through. Spots the Freya up top. Waiting for... There goes the triggered on the Venom Mine. Senna just waiting for a moment. Sees the Widow again.
Oh.
Freya over top. Can't hit the grapple shot, but that was pretty darn accurate. Senna on the Widowmaker. Putting pressure onto this Wrecking Ball, but the range is there. It's Evil taking out Senna as the Widowmaker duel won the opposite way. Dream Eater starting to push the payload forward. They need to get out of here. Any late picks could spell doom for Dream Eaters. But the Ramatra is just going so low, gets healed up, and they escape, thankfully. Can they get back in time?
Yeah, can't touch. It's simply not going to happen. Yeah,
No.
even though there's no bulk from the pants, then there's simply no one in Dream Eaters there. Widowmaker Bastion's a nice idea, but they haven't given themselves very much runway there. And so no liftoff able to be achieved. 2-0 here for Aurafarmers. And I've got to say, K-Wing, it does not look like they are breaking a sweat.
No, Aurafarmers have been almost... They make it look effortless. It seems like they are effortlessly cruising to this 2-0 lead. And for Dream Eaters, you have to have a major reset here, a major rethink of how you're dealing with Golden Pants, how you're putting what you're doing with Senna and what heroes she's going to be playing. Because like you said, you have an incredibly good hit scan character. Having them on Symmetra the entire time is... I don't want to question decisions, but it is a rough thing to see when I have seen, and I know you have seen, Senna absolutely warp lobbies to her will on these hit scan heroes, on the Ashes, on these different characters, how powerful she can be. It's tough to not want, it's hard to not want to see that again as we push forward into a really tough position.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair way of describing it. Ball band's still available, but we'll have to wait for that till after the break because we are going on a short hiatus. When we're back, the continuation of Dream Eaters, the Aurafarmers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Down 2-0. Dream Eaters face an impossible task, shutting down the oppressive wrecking ball of Golden Pants. Can they do it? With 2 maps remaining, we are back. Aurafarmer now up 2-0 and looking without breaking a sweat, it seems. There was a little bit of diciness in like round 1 of Lijiang, but Spec so far it's been the Golden Pants show all stream now. It has been the Golden Pants show, winning the best tank award at the top of the day and proving why at the bottom of the day. And what do they do? What do they do at this point to shut down this menace, this rodent road rager?
Ideally, you want to play at a pace of the game where GP doesn't have enough time to find value. Because with Bull, you kind of have to assume that unless you play 5 counters, he's going to find value. It's just how the hero works, right? So you want to play so fast that the Bull isn't capable of finding big slam, big boot, because in long fights, you're always going to outvalue basically every other tank. We'll see if that materializes or not as we begin thinking about where we're going next, and indeed that map has been decided. But I think pace got to be the name in the game. But it has to be pace and care as well, because a sloppy engage is the same as a long fight to GP. Be able to punish them all the same.
I mean, yeah, we saw that on Night Market. Any misstep on the engage, even a small one, out of Dream Eaters, it's blood in the water for Golden Pants. It's nothing but blood in the water. And we've seen them pounce on it. We know that they are watching for those mistakes. They are watching for those small stumbles, those small little breaks, and they are just taking a hammer and chisel to it and cracking that fight wide open. And that's what they've done for the entirety of round 2 of Lijiang. That's what they did on Circuit Royale. It's been incredibly dicey so far for Dream Eaters. So the only thing you kind of have to say to them is these engages have to be perfect and these fights have to be snappy.
Indeed. I mean, speaking of the fights being snappy, it's certainly made easier by the map. I'll tell you that much for free. Because we do have the map section through, and King's Row. Pretty comfortable. I mean, very linear. You are going to struggle to find roll-throughs, especially will GP, but in exchange, you've got a lot of slam opportunities. So I'm going to be playing a little bit more for the hits, I would imagine, though I believe we'll see once we load into the lobby. Assuming Bull isn't banned, of course. I think this is a very reasonable pick from Dream Eaters, but it's also something that their opponent's going to be exceedingly comfortable on. See if Dream Eaters decide to deviate from their strategy and just kill the Bull, or want to target, again, something in the enemy composition that has been giving them trouble. Honestly, I couldn't say, but it feels like the DPS line of the Hanzo Freya from the last map, that seems unrealistic, so bans there seem ill-advised.
The Wuyang ban is an interesting one. I don't know. Part of me thinks that the Wuyang was such a thorn in their side because of the AoE that he could put out onto a sim TP, and it was what we saw, at least what I saw on the back half of that, a lot of those engages going awry because the Wuyang would see the teleporter drop some cooldowns, and your entire team has lost 120 HP in one hit. Does this seem like they're maybe going to go for this Symmetra again?
It's a possibility. I would not describe it as a probability, but we'll have to wait and see. Zar banned from Aurafarmers. They're just kind of throwing stuff out there, because why not? I mean, if they wanted to ban anything, they could maybe ban a Ram, so they could play heavier for tank pressure. It's not really their play style, but it's an opportunity. Just waiting on lobby to be ready now before we head into the action and see if Dream Eaters can get a reversal of momentum, or whether everything is going to continue coming up heads for Aurafarmers. Obviously, I got my suspicions. You may as well at home, but before they're realized, they are only that.
Yeah, I mean, King's Row is a great place to turn it around for Dream Eaters, and it has to be. It just has to be. And down 2-0, this break is the best point to reset your mental. the best amount of time that you have to take a breath, get a drink of water, and come into the second half of this way more set, way more working as a team, working as a unit, and ultimately that's what you have to see out of WBZ as we get a look at the compositions rolling out. Aurafarmer is picked to defend first, as they did on Circuit Royale. We're looking at that Tracer Ashe DPS line and a Kiriko on a support line. No real surprises here.
Yeah, Winston on defense is always a little bit, or Winston and Snap, sorry, is always a little bit strange. So we'll see if they roll out on that. Defensively, double flex with the ball. You are vulnerable to hits. So if Chinese Dino stays on the Winston, there's a real opportunity here. And stay, he will. Kiri break is a little bit fake, but the Warwick Angels believe in it. Senna takes a shot and then just probably stops Soj. Yep, will. Aurafarmer's playing for slow fight. They're playing essentially for someone to hit a shot. A hard poke composition. The dive, so... Oh, okay, what are we doing?
Oh. Okay, Condi just taken out Cryo in one shot. I mean, yeah. That's Aurafarmer is already just taking the wind out of Dream Eater's sails. As Kiriko duel going on in the backline, there goes Outpost Suzu's. And Aurafarmer gains 40 seconds off of that in the backline.
Yeah, that they do. Oh, close to a trade on Tequila there. The swift step and a fest just in time. Being said, fast respawns, obviously, for Dream Eaters mean they can stable incredibly fast. I've got to say, I know Nat is a lot more comfortable on the Kiriko than the Ana, but the lack of the healing throughput on Chinese Dinos are really feeling here. The lack of CC as well into Pants. A weakness. KO in the 1v1 versus Evil. It's no bueno, and I'm not sure if that's the DC or just giving up, but either way, it doesn't spell good news for the Dream Eaters.
No. The switch back onto the Widowmaker also, I don't know. It just screams they need a big break. They need something huge here. Otherwise, they're just in trouble. As Golden Pants dives in over top, you've got the Widow trying to go for a shot onto Condi, I believe.
There we go.
Gonna get that pick. And maybe the opening that Dream Eaters needs. And as Golden Pants grapples up, knocks the Winston off of the high ground. Insane Rush's Pulse Bomb is thrown in over side. It's going to be Keela getting taken down. As Dream Eaters really starting to exert themselves on the point. Evil in a lot of trouble, getting chased down by the Lucio, getting hit by the melee. As now passing 50, Golden Pants going to stall out this point as best he can before returning to that choke. Getting hit with the nano and charging in onto the Lucio. Just does not have enough of the aim to really get through there. Putting pressure onto Senna, but the point will go. 4 minutes now on the clock. And not a very complete hold on this archway, so it could be a big opportunity for Dream Eaters.
Oh, CD, a bit low now, 0. Evil gets a very late kill, but at the end of the day, a 4-minute time mag is still comfortable. Feels like a while since we've seen a fight win from the Dream Eaters, but a Widow headshot opens the gateway. That being said, at this stage of the map, does the Widowmaker have that same amount of viability, or will we see Senna moving towards a Cassidy sooner rather than later? Obviously, you do have the bonus as well, as both supporters being invested for the recontest, getting absolutely diddly squat. Aurafarmers don't have big tools, but their positioning is pristine.
Yeah, and they've taken this archway back pretty effectively. As now Condi and the rest of Aurafarmer. Bob getting thrown into the middle, just shutting down this lane entirely. As Aurafarmers move past the choke, they're putting pressure onto WBZ as Senna swaps the Hanzo.
Yeah, I hate it, actually.
It could do it, yeah.
You've got pick potential, a body shot's Evil, forces a recall, headshots very likely into Condi, and you've got good burn damage to make Golden Panther cycle significantly shorter. Sound barrier through, but it doesn't catch on to the most important members.
No, it doesn't. And so Dream Eaters just get left by the wayside for a little bit, and Aurafarmers are free to clean up the rest as the Kiriko almost goes down in the end, but it will get the pick onto Condi. Now Senna onto the Venture pick. Not really the pick potential as much as you'd like, but I'm interested to see what the maybe trying to get something onto this Wrecking Ball to shut down.
It's nice to have double cart progress here. Also, your hits in the backline nice and strong. Oh, what a stick, what a sleep. 1 for 1 in the backline as a KO dies by his own hand. You'll take that though, close to spawns, and with the Tracer, like, it is technically value for Quayo, just not very much.
Yeah, you wish you could have gotten a little more value, but like, value is value. Chinese Dino has the Primal Rage on board. We can use it, finds the pick onto Evil first, as there goes Kitsune rush out. Primal Rage gonna get popped, and it's just gonna get first down. Now jumping in, slept up by Vintac. Vintac's really been on it with these sleeps. Of course, it'll only delay the inevitable out of this Winston, as Chinese Dino really starting to step up for WBZ Dream Eaters. This is probably the most complete set of fights we've seen these guys put together, as now the two tanks square off. Chinese Dino in a bit of trouble having to pull back. 60 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, but you're not in a terrible spot by any means. The Kitsune Rush is available. It gives you the ability to burn Bob and no mines to delay. Probably worried about the Nano Boost more than anything else, though, because the Nano Boosted Slam is doing enough damage to make your knees. At the thought, the walk-up is sloppy, I have to say, from CDN. Armor already gone. Kitsu through with Bob, finding value. Yeah.
Oh, a 2K Pulse Bomb takes out the Venture and the Kiriko. And Aurafarmer has turned this around completely on its head. Condi getting the Nano Boost and just mag dumping the Winston from close range. Condi nearly getting taken out by the Pulse Bomb over top. Almost got into a lot of trouble there.
Okay,
as time is going to tick down. It's gonna be the Tracer touch for the OT.
And recalls out as well, so relatively safe. Overtime Wick has gotten started. Second found by Senna on the Venture. Third should be a Tracer once more.
Yeah, Senna is coming up to this Tectonic Shock as the beat goes through. Does not catch Senna. In a bit of trouble and pretty vulnerable going through as Condi is going to be taken down. Senna gets to this ult. There is an opportunity here as Aurafarmers aren't on this cart, and it will push through as WBZ have new life, but a minute and a half is not much on point C of King's Row.
It's something, and at the end of the day, the Overtime Wick, all you need, Creo actually gets the better of evil. Not something we'd expect every day, but you love to see it, absolutely. And because there's no attempt at a recontest from Aurafarmers, there's still the Tectonic Shock to use as they will. Goes low HP, force a Drill Dash for the health more than anything else. But it's more zoning than anything else in the meanwhile. Kills being found.
Yeah, and the ball goes through. Senna's going to find the pick onto Golden Pants. That's weird. Now playing up at spawn door. Pulse Bomb goes through. Senna able to duck it out as... What is weird? Golden Pants going to take 2 picks. Running through on the Tracer. Recall forced out by this Ash. Half going down, and it's going to be Dream Eaters continuing to push through. Or... No, that's Aurafarmer.
Yeah, it's a bug right now with the kill feeds. Yeah, it happens. Attempt at the touch. Natanif won't manage it. At least overtime, reach from Senna. Perfectly placed Bob, though, means that Condi elevates and eliminates.
Wow.
Yeah, all you need.
That was a really perfect Bob.
Yeah, it was pretty safe Bob, I can't lie. I don't think I've seen an impressive Bob before, but hey, there's a first time for everything, right?
Yeah, I mean, perfectly placed, perfectly timed out of Condi on that, and you know, you can't knock it. Condi's really been silently really consistent for the side of Aurafarmer. Has just been not necessarily a big pop-off player, but has been silently very consistent getting picks. That I think is probably going to be the funniest play of this entire series, is just watching Kaya go stick a pulse bomb.
How does pulse go too? How does that happen? By the way, I still don't get it. It's cool though that it does. Evil's gonna be feeling pretty chuffed about it, but I feel like the pulses this game have been pretty goofy. You know, KO, as you mentioned, they stick onto Vintak. Vintak gets to sleep straight back onto him. Both their days ruined in an explosive end. But hey, I think at the end of the day, they both got a funny moment out of it, so they're not too mad. Yeah. Senna's 4-7. Go look in.
Oh,
it's not great to see.
Yeah, fair enough. Lock in.
The most deaths in the lobby, I do believe, and going to be sticking on it for the defense, hoping that venture is the port of call necessary. Winston on the defense a hell of a lot harder here, so I've got to say, a lot of pressure onto him to keep the HP high without just needing the full pocket from that.
Yeah, forces the swift step out of the Kiriko, but with all the mobility of these heroes, feels like Chinese Dino might be left in the dust a bit, as NAF going to be going down first. Dream Eaters having their legs knocked out from under them. It's going to be Chinese Dino getting taken down, and it's Golden Pants running the board once again.
Yeah, NAF insta-dies. It's a bit peak. Oh, do we get a trade? Senna, at least 5-7 now. Evil, trade to duel 1 out. And I gotta say, very curious we're not playing the break here for NAF the Catboy. It's such a good pick into the Wrecking Ball. And feels like a bit of a no-brainer with the Winston as well, but not something that's going to materialize, at least for now.
Yeah, that's something I've been curious about too, is why haven't we seen the break? Why haven't we seen more attempts to really shut down this ball? As, again, we've been talking about Golden Pants running the field, and it's continued for 3 maps now, as 5:14 on the clock and a golden box of victory sitting at the end of point C, as whoa, that is a deep dive by Senna. We'll get a trade for it, but your walk back so far. It's a good boop in the end, as Natnif goes down.
Oh, nice.
Evil taking that pick. Yeah.
Yeah, Cart's going to be rolling time bank a little bit better than what their opponents had, but not by leaps and bounds. Real issue is if there's any late kills that end up materializing, Nat has to live. Senna can't go down either, even though she'd like to push for the kill. How is Nat deaf to mines? That's not what you love to see at all. Lucio's sure going to be back fast, but you really wanted to be able to fight on this corner. Now you kind of feel like you have to wait.
Yeah, pulse bomb thrown out. I thought I heard a stick sound for a second there, but apparently not in the end, as Senna's going to pop ult. We'll see.
The one.
It's the trade, but just not really enough in the end, as Aurafarmers keep the cart a-rolling. Maybe one more fight out of Dream Eaters, but you're in some trouble if you can't put a stop here.
Especially because your Lucio died last. It's going to be rough to actually try and get a touch, but they can go for it if they so wish. Note these fights have been so short that they're still yet to reach their first Primal Rage for Chinese Dinos. Golden Pants almost approaching his second minefield. Nanoboost administered.
Yeah, and that's going to bring Golden Pants to that minefield, as NAF is going to get shut down immediately. That's the one character you don't want to get hit as a victim of this wrecking ball, is that Lucio, as Condi takes down 2, and the cart just keeps on rolling through. 4.5 minutes on the clock. WBZ at this point had 1.5 minutes. 3 more minutes on the clock has Aurafarmer, and it's red alert at this point for Dream Eaters. They need something to change, and they need it now.
I don't think Vintak's that happy because he got primaled. That being said, still some time for the defense to manifest. You've got the sound barrier now. Okay, that pulses. Weak attempt, Evil. You're better than this, man.
See, that's how you do the pulse bomb, says Kyo, hitting a stick onto Vintac and getting the heck on out of there. Evil will pick up a dry trade onto Senna. Chinese Dino. Holding on to this high ground on the Winston, but with the Wrecking Ball going so incredibly fast out of Golden Pants, it seems like finally maybe having something to do, finally having like a bit of breathing room, getting hit by the anti and Suzu'd up, and Natnif goes down. He catches all 4 remainders, but Aurafarmers are still picking up some kills. He's Dino in trouble, gonna get taken down. Evil with the chase, and Golden Pants is rolling through, tracking down any stragglers, any lone souls that can just be jumped on and victimized. This is rough.
3 minutes to hold for the one fight, and GP's looking for more kills. Of course, he's gonna find the Kitsune Resh pops, but I don't know what's even on the objective. Naf realizes in time, but will it be enough?
Oh, Chinese Dino goes down, and Golden Pants just rolling through, and they're getting cleared off the point. They're just getting taken down, beat out on the side of Aurafarmers, and it's Evil and it's Keela taking it, making it 3-0 like it ain't no thing.
Better for Dream Eaters, this map. It is hard to disagree with that notion at the very least, but better simply isn't good enough here. A map that you could probably describe as competitive for sure. They are making baby steps, but unfortunately, they're on 3-0. 4 maps in a row going to be needed if they want to cinch this title, else they're going to be happy with second. Remember, that's 4 maps in a row where they're playing into their opponent's first map picks, their opponent's first bans, their opponents with control of the momentum. And this is what they've been able to do going second. An uphill battle, to be sure. Not impossible, but you've got to imagine it's close to it. Aurafarmers closer than touching distance to their title. All they've got to do is complete one more map, and going as fast as they have, one imagines that is going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah. For Dream Eaters, you have to wonder what else there is to try. And I think it's time that, you know, in case of emergency, they break the glass and they say, Wrecking Ball ban. Because, yes, you would want to save it for a later map, but first you have to guarantee that you're going to get a later map. And with how Golden Pants has been playing the Wrecking Ball, with how strong his play has been so far, yeah, you need that to stop. You need that. You need him to cut that garbage out, to stop playing the Wrecking Ball, to give them a chance at this point, because it's dire for WBZ. And for the map pick, for their final map pick of the season, no matter what happens here, we've got it in. We're going to be going to the snowy streets of New Queen Street. What could be the last map of WBZ's Season 16. What could be the last map of CGL Open EU right here, right now. New Queen Street could be where we crown our new champion.
It feels almost likely that we do, right? Obviously, yeah. I figured now is where you probably do want to break the glass in case of emergencies, right? Where you do want to ban that Wrecking Ball. See how that works out as we get closer to having that ban phase ready. Aurafarmer's the first ban, apparently. See if that's yeah. So order is wrong. So it is still going to be, in terms of ban order, Aurafarmer's responding, as far as I understand it. What do you ban here? Assuming it is a ball ban, because I assume it's just a ball ban. Oh, there we go. Stream Eaters, they ban ball. They're just banning ball here. Let's be realistic.
They ban
you'd rather not, you don't pick New Queen Street and not ban ball. especially into Golden Pants.
Yeah. You aren't down 3-0. It's the Wrecking Ball. Shock of shocks. Shock, gasp, someone faints in the audience. Dream Eaters have banned ball. Let's answer the question that now obviously follows. What are Aurafarmers going to do for the tank?
I mean, Golden Pants normally plays Winston in scenarios like these, so that's pretty valid of him. Because I'll let you in on a secret here. For Golden Pants' Face It team, they actually don't scrim Wrecking Ball. There's no point. All they do is scrim non-ball maps. Because they figure they're just going to win all the ball maps anyway. What's the point of practicing? We'll just figure out how to strengthen when we don't have the quote-unquote crutch hero. And so it's not like he's a... Well, he is a one-trick. It's not like his other heroes are bad. Like some other one-tricks are. He's very strong at a multitude of different picks here. Because he basically always solo tanks. So I imagine he will be on Winston, but basically the entire pool is not unrealistic to see from him. As for the ban, I'm curious what you go towards here. I'd imagine Venture, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe you try and go for a hero that like Senna might be enabled on. At this point, there you go. You got the Ash pick banned. Yeah. Shutting down a really powerful hit scan, one that's always in Senna's back pocket. Never, smart move, smart play.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I would have probably targeted the Venture as more like a crutch, but Ash also makes sense. She's very strong right now, good economy for her with the buffs to her perks and her damage fall off in the mid-season patch of the previous season. Just waiting on teams to be ready now. We can head into the action.
Yeah.
And by the way, in the lobby, I can tell you that Nat Nif is trying to persuade Vintac to come to his uni and play in his university team. Not sure about that one.
I don't know about that. My friend.
Come to Strathclyde. It's where the real gamers go. Trust. So, how's your university esports experience been, K-Ray?
My university doesn't have a formal esports team. They
messed up.
Yeah, no. They have a club. That's about it. I haven't I did a little bit of playing with them, but I'm also barely even in uni anymore. I'm gonna be graduated from it in about finish it in about a week. So
messed up.
Hooray for me. I'm so old. Please send your well wishes, heated back pads, and knee replacement surgeon suggestions. I'll be needing those shortly.
Do you need
but
to
anyway,
a discount?
Oh, of course. I'll be going to White Castle and demanding it. But
the hell is White Castle? Sorry, you keep giving me things to latch onto.
It's an American fast food joint, my friend. It just serves
They give you
burgers.
senior discounts in fast food?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. My grandma always got it when she went to White Castle. But either way, speaking of getting a discount, was hoping I was gonna find a segue for that, and couldn't find it. Speaking of segues, going into this game, Aurafarmer looking for that last win, as now rolling out on the Soldier 76 is Senna. Aurafarmer on the Golden Pants on the Zarya.
Indeed. Interesting choice here. I think he's just picking a hero now because he feels like it. Zar is relatively strong right now, but not crazy. And there's not really anybody in your team to enable, so he kind of wants to walk at people and see what happens with stealth bubbles. You're also not going to get any charge. There's no real spam to speak of. Vintac and Condit post kills early on, and Yeah, a bit of a collapse. Senna, though, does find a double on her. Triple kill.
Triple.
Senna
actually having a shot to change the world here. Change the tune of this fight. It looks like it's only going to be 3. Won't have the complete turnaround as Golden Pants will have to wait for some respawns. As now the tanks face off face to face here. Golden Pants getting taken low, has to use a self bubble. Suzu comes through as well. Trying to deal with the soldier. Golden Pants can't get up on the high ground, but Condi will take care of Senna. And Chinese Dino will take care of Condi. 4v4 now as Chinese Dino gets taken down, and Evil will start to go on the rampage instead. And that'll be Aurafarmer continuing the push.
That it shall. Not too much distance early on, but they do have a rather Russian-looking yoke around their necks. KO late killed by Keela. It's unfortunate to see. Senna's run back to spawn, by the way. I don't even know what you go here. Okay, why not? I run Widowmaker now. I have nothing for this. It's not really good in meta, but you can shoot people sometimes, I guess. So, see how that works out.
She immediately got shot.
Yep.
That's how it worked. Kitsune Rush coming out from Keela as Dream Eaters are already down 2, and even more, it seems, falling apart at the seams here in this defense. They really need a full reset as Senna gets taken down again by the Kiriko. And Aurafarmer, there goes the Pulse Bomb taking out Chinese Dino, and it's just stagger after stagger after stagger.
We have mana grabs.
As
no, we could have.
Yeah, the grab goes in.
That it does. I was worried we grabbed 0 people for a bit, but I think we caught Nat in it. We are essentially spawn holding right now. Nobody is capable of escaping. Unfortunately, folks, this might be a done deal. Grand Final's done in, feels like, barely an hour. Dream Eaters do have good ults for this recontest, but they have to do it 4v5.
Yeah, they don't have the Widow. And there goes the beat out of Vintac out responding to both support ults. It's an incredibly high value beat. And now with the Primal gone through, that is the last ult out of Dream Eaters. And Aurafarmer, if they win this fight, they're happy, but at 120 meters and still pushing the bot, I think they're completely fine to let this go for the rest of the time. Senna gets taken down, 1 tap by Condi, and that'll be finally Dream Eaters just putting a stop to the bleeding, but
I know,
it's going to be a microcosm of the match.
Yeah, still in a pretty rough scenario. Senna swapping again. Mystery here is all series long. Bastion now. I mean, if you want, right? If you want.
Sure.
High ground taken from Chinese Dinos. Bubble invested. Pulse this time does miss, but that's a very low looking Winston who has to turn tail and run.
Yeah, Chinese Dino has been feeling the squeeze this entire map. Honestly, this entire match. As Condi's gonna take down Senna. And now another 4v5 against Aurafarmer, and maybe Evil here. Just a couple more meters before Aurafarmer begging Evil to let him pulse them, as Golden Pants gonna get 1 before getting taken down, and Dream Eaters will just barely wriggle their way out of this. Pulse Bomb goes through, tried it, did not work, as there goes Keela. That'll be it. Aurafarmers have sown and sown and sown, and now they reap their rewards. They stand on top of the EU Open tier, champions in dominant fashion. None can stand before them.
Yeah, they're pretty good at the game. I feel like that's been pretty evident throughout this playoffs, especially. They dropped, I believe, 1 map the entire time. I mean, this time, it's pretty ridiculous if a DPS sign like Evil Condi and barely have to speak about them whatsoever, but that's just the kind of influence Golden Pants has on a lobby. Dream Eaters, bright spots, but today I think it's pretty fair to say they were entirely outmatched. Some macro ideas I didn't like, some hero picks which were very funky, and then at the end of the day, just weren't hitting the shots the same way their opponents were. So, you know, congratulations to them for making it so far through the lower bracket, for making it to the grand finals. But it was clear that in the grands there was no real competition to be found.
No, it was just all Aurafarmer's game to win. You had some good highlights there out of Senna and out of the entirety of Dream Eaters. Some really incredible play and some really elite moments. But overall, like you said, it was just a step ahead for Aurafarmer, coming through and being better, being proactive in their positioning, not making the mistakes that we saw out of Dream Eaters. And I think overall, well, it was just Aurafarmers the entire time. Just, I don't know what else to say. They just seem to have this entirely under control. It seemed effortless. It seemed perfect. And I mean, you can't even pick a specific player and go, you know, as much as Golden Pants is incredible, Evil and Condi and all of these other players, Gila and Vintak as well, were playing out of their minds throughout it. It was incredible.
Yeah, as an update, by the way, for the other stream, it's a 3-1 currently for BU. That is on the Masters player simultaneously, so their game will be going a smidge longer than ours. As for us, though, I mean, as you're reminded about how dominant this game was, Kingstar the only one slightly competitive. We are trying to set up an interview. We'll try and do the losers interview first. Yeah, we're trying to do a losers interview first, but after that we should have a winners interview, one of the victorious members. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that, but until then we will bid you adieu, and we'll be back in a little bit.
And we are back here with Natnif from WBZ Dream Eaters, here to do a exit interview. Get your thoughts about what the season has brought, and especially this last game. So thank you for joining us, and commiserations on your loss in the finals here.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to be here, and thank you both for the nice casting. Hopefully not flaming us too much, although that was a less of a competitive series.
Too much. Considering.
Sure, it was less of a competitive series than we wanted it to be. But still, thank you very much for the production and for the casting of this series.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, just starting off, getting a temperature, how do you feel after that game? I know definitely a disappointing result, and could hear it in what you're saying right now, but reflecting on it, how are you feeling?
I mean, I think every time we've faced Aurafarmers, we've always looked to take away as much as we can in terms of, like, the first time we did play them, we treated it like a scrim. We just full on ball mirrored them, just trying to gain some experience. The second time, when we had Myro and we had the Diva Zarya, we felt like it was closer, but they just have that firepower, that clutch potential to close it out. And here, we don't have Myro. Chinese, coming back in, doing his best, but in a vacuum, it does feel disappointing, because we want to show that we are trying to level up versus these very, very, adept opponents. But overall, considering that it is the grand finals match, while we wish we could put on a better show, we are still happy to have made it to the second place finish, even though, obviously, the caveat, we would like to have taken a map or two from such a level, such a caliber of player.
Yeah.
That's good perspective.
For me, I want to first ask, obviously, you guys have Senna on your team. She was kind of playing Mystery Heroes all throughout today. Was that a deviation from the plan, or was that you guys just being a bit more chilled out about the whole ordeal? Because we saw Venture, Bastion, Widowmaker, Hanzo, the whole Symmetra, the whole gamut of characters.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit of both, where we kind of realized, like, their composition is just very good at shutting down the hit scan, and we noticed that we weren't really playing well enough to, or like mobile enough to really make use of things like our first point going was playing a lot more of the Sig cast things, which had on Lijiang, but we just stayed in their hitboxes for way too long, got punished a lot, and we kind of were in a mode we were just kind of throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks, and eventually it was the point where, like, let's keep morale high, let's keep it going, like, map per map. Senna has the is a very flexible player, and also it is a player that has immense carry potential. Let's just try and build around her kind of play style. So I'd say, yeah, a little bit of both to what our thoughts were on the Mystery Heroes going on.
And then I also want to say that obviously King's Row was the closest map by some margin. Do you think there's anything different on that map that made it a bit easier for you guys, or do you think it was just like aesthetic purely?
Part of it was definitely they were running like the double flex support lineup, which gave us, and like the Ashe, but it was not more targets to run on. Especially, I think part of it is that we are just more prepared or more practiced on this more aggressive Winston style. I think also when you're playing this Winston, Kyria, Lucio double flex, you very much are forced to be super aggressive, which is something we were lacking with our initiative in a lot of the previous matches. So I think that they did force us to kind of try and move away from the playstyles and the issues in the playstyles we were having. But it also, I think that in our defense felt a lot more difficult than our attack, to say the least. I think part of it was just they were trying some more wacky plays, and I'd say again it's a little bit of both. They were playing more of an unconventional style, and we were playing more of a practice style that forced us to move away from a style they could kind of punish more easily.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, really incredible thoughts on that, and I really appreciate your ability to look at this match so analytically, even after, you talked about how disappointing of a result it was, but it's really awesome to see, you keeping your composure about it. I guess before you head off, a little bit of a twofold question. One, what can we expect to see next out of WBZ Dream Eaters? And then two, while you're on the stream, is there anyone you want to shout out or give thanks to that have really helped and supported you this season? So what's next, and who do you want to thank?
Definitely we're planning on coming back next season. Myro has already set their sights on running it back to try and repeat another high result, and hopefully to continue to finding the good competition that we get here and the good games that we find. So I think while we are going through some roster changes in our Face It, I would imagine that we're going to also do our best to get those new additions, new trials to come in to play with us next CGL. That's a pretty uncertain future, but I think we have a lot of good people trialing. I think we'll be kind of happy regardless of what the roster looks like. I think we'll see a fair few returning faces from the current roster. And the subject of Myro as well, got to give a big shout out to him. I know that again he will wants us to perform better, but he has been an incredible coach, and I'm wishing him a swift recovery as possible. He should be coming back hopefully sooner than expected. As well, like all my team, for sticking through it, playing their best center as well, for coming into a pretty different environment than normal. And as well, my parents always watch my games and always very supportive of what's kind of going on the screens, even if she messes me after the game that Golden Pants is just too good. Which it's true, but thanks for reminding me, Mum. But shout out to them for their support, and again to the production and the casters for making the match as interesting as you could as us getting cast.
Happens. Okay, Thanks so much for your time. Now I think we'll be seeing you around, but we'll let you go communicate with your team and/or explain to your parents exactly just what went down.
Thank you very much. See you all later.
Of course. Bye. Okay, that was Natnif, everyone. Top guy, I've got to say. Always love interacting with him. And we're going to go pretty quickly, though, from the losers interview into the winners interview, because now just joining us, we have Merit. And who else but Golden Pants here from the Aurafarmers.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the stream, and congratulations on your victory, champions of CGL EU Open. I gotta ask, how does it feel?
I mean, feels pretty good. I expected result, but feels good, I guess.
Merit, you don't want to add to that, or?
I mean, we came into this like with a winner mentality. So, I mean, we won it last season, and I think our clear goal was to win it again, and we kind of did that, so we're really happy with it.
Yeah, that you absolutely did. Firstly, I want to get straight to brass tacks. You obviously ended up playing map 4 on the Zarya. I wasn't aware that was part of your hero pool, Golden Pants. So was that just you playing it for fun, or was it? Is that like a secret strat, something I wasn't aware of? You know,
we're working on it. Okay, we're working on it.
It's in the lab. It's in the lab.
It's a work in progress, but yeah, not my specialty. Got a bit of a monkey in me, but not too much of a Zarya.
I mean, you guys have, for my second question, you guys have been basically, farming Headrammer's money for like 2 seasons in a row now. Is this something we should be, expecting you to continue for seasons coming? Or are you guys think of moving to greener pasture? You think of inviting other teams to maybe have a bit more competition here? Because I've got to say, this season, you dropped, what, 1 map? If that? Seems like a walk in the park for you guys.
I mean, I don't think I'm going to compete in CGL again. I think my teammates will. But I don't think I'm going to be competing in CGL again. Just don't really have the time for it,
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, if we feel like we can get some other teams in this tournament as well for next season, it might be a good idea to have a bit more competition. But yeah, I don't know if that will happen. Hopefully, though.
Yeah, well, if this is going to be the last time we see you guys in CGL, it's a great way to go out looking as incredible as you've done. So I guess one last question here is, who do you want to give a shout out to, a thank you to, on your team, on behind the scenes, anyone you want to give a shout out to before we pack it up and send it to this Brigged Up versus T4T match?
Yeah, there actually is a special somebody I want to give the shout out to. Beaver, my Korean Go, our Korean flex support actually. Oh, main support, my bad. Yeah, Beaver's the GOAT. In talk.
Yeah, for me personally, I think I will shout out Conde and my good friend Tom, and that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, thanks so much for you guys for coming for the interview. Again, congratulations on your win, and we wish you the best of luck in, if maybe not your CGL endeavors, and your endeavors in the Overwatch scene in general, because I know both of you have big things on the horizon.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can get it going. Thank you, man.
Yeah, we'll let you go celebrate with your team now, and or I don't know, queue a bunch of ranks. New season, new weird leaderboard. I'm sure you guys, you probably don't want to get on it, but it's there.
Yeah, GP will for sure queue ranked. I'm sure about it.
Maybe we'll see.
Maybe. Alright, toodles.
Alright.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.
That was Golden Pants and the one and only from Aurafarmers. Oh, silly people. But that was it for us here in the grand finals. We've crowned our champion, Aurafarmer, taking it 4-0 over WBZ Dream Eaters. And well, Spec, that's it for us. Want to thank you guys all for coming in and joining us. We're going to be quickly jumping over to the Brigged Up versus T4T game in just a moment. Here you can see that it is 3-2, so Brigged Up and T4T neck and neck in this point, and we won't waste any more of your time. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Spec, for joining me on this. Shout out to Hippie for producing this, and for our wonderful observer. I believe it was Lottie on the observing. Thank you all for that. We're going to hop in to the match already in progress. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you later.